And welcome to those of you who have watched Jacksonville and Pittsburgh as the Steelers avenge that opening loss of the season to the Jaguars. Tom Hammond, Bob Trumpy in Houston as the Oilers take on the Dolphins. Here's Mel Gray, one of the best returners of all time, back in action for the Oilers and finding a seam. Gray takes Joe Nedney's kickoff back to around the 35-yard line where Nedney, the kicker, runs him out of bounds. A return of 34 yards. And all eyes on Bruce Matthews, the starting left guard of the Houston Oilers. With the first snap today, he will set the Houston record, 211 games played.
That's impressive. What's also impressive about Bruce Matthews as a Houston Oiler, Pro Bowl as a center, guard, and tackle. How about that?
Very versatile one from Southern California in his 14th season. Chris Chandler, the Houston quarterback, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, with a roll, and Eddie George out of the backfield, the former Heisman winner, crosses midfield into Dolphin territory. First play from scrimmage. Sean Wooden makes the stop after 17 yards, and that's a story too. In high school, Sean Wooden beat out Eddie George to be the running back at their high school team, and the Matthews clan will get that football. Bruce Matthews presented the football after setting the Houston record, 211 games played.
One of his 5 kids, this family, one of the most competitive on the face of the earth. Older brother Clay has 5 kids. Bruce has 5 kids.
There you see Clay and Bruce have combined for 484 games played, which is the most all time. And if you add in their dad, it's even more. He's there with his wife, Carrie, his sons, Stephen, Kevin, Jacob, and Michael, and his daughter, Marilyn, the Matthews clan. And including his dad, who played for the 49ers, look at this. 537 NFL games played. Wow.
And Bruce is still playing wonderfully as an offensive lineman. He's a long way from done.
And his brother Clay still playing linebacker at age 40-something. So after the big play by George, first down, Oilers in Dolphin territory. A reverse, Willie Davis. Davis with a blocker in front has a first down inside the 35 to the 34 of the Dolphins, where Sean Wooden and Zach Thomas, 2 rookies, combined to make the tackle.
Tom, it looked like they had 1 handoff for every 2 yards they gained. There's 1 handoff. It's a double reverse. You see the Miami defense just running back and forth sideways across the field. First 2 plays by Houston, but Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, a little trickery here. Jeff Fisher certainly approves.
Got it going early. Chris Chandler with a pass to George and the double reverse to Davis, and inside the 35 of the Dolphins already. Eddie George turns the corner, cuts up down to the 28-yard line. Zach Thomas makes another tackle. Hopkins, the record-setting Matthew Stepnoski, back after an injury, perennial Pro Bowler. Donnelly and Eatman up front for the Oilers. Chandler, as we said, the underrated one. Heisman winner Eddie George, one of the best rookie running backs in the NFL, over 900 yards now for this season. And Mark Stepnoski, a little banged up, back in action. Been to the last 4 Pro Bowls, and of course played 6 years with the Cowboys. From the 28, Chandler's pass on target. Ronnie Herman with his first catch of the game, covered by the linebacker Dwight Collier, which will be a tough matchup all day for the Dolphins. 4 rookies start for Miami, including Burton and Gardner up front. The rookies also include their leading tackler, linebacker Zach Thomas, and Sean Wooden, who is playing free safety today. Buckley, by the way, having a great year with 6 interceptions. And there's a look at Zach Thomas from Texas Tech. In fact, Jimmy Johnson with a nice touch today, as he had 6 former Southwest Conference players as honorary captains today, including Zach Thomas from Texas Tech. Harmon and George in the backfield at the same time, with Harmon in motion. Chandler's pass. Eddie George down to the 12-yard line where Zach Thomas has to make the tackle. They're getting the matchup they want. Linebacker on Harmon.
And of course, last week they threw the ball to Harmon. Here's Eddie George just come out of the backfield. He's carried the ball an awful lot for the Houston Oilers so far this year, but now they're going to throw it to him. Last week it was Harmon that kind of set the tone for the Oilers. Looks like today it's going to be Eddie George, but the threat of Harmon and George in the backfield at the same time, a real problem for most defenses.
This is the opening drive of the game. The Oilers moving on the Dolphins with a 2nd and 3 from the 13. Again, George and Harmon in the backfield, and the Dolphins come charging across. Were they drawn off? We'll see. It was Tim Bowens that came across. Was he drawn? First penalty of the game. Referee today is Ron Blum.
Defense offside, unabated to the quarterback, 5 yards, with first down.
So Bowens offside and unabated to the quarterback is the reason they blew it dead.
And at 300+ pounds, it's hard to slip through that gap between the center and the guard, but Bowens does without making any contact. Puts his hand on the guard. He could have kind of slipped back and no damage done.
Bowens in his 3rd season from Ole Miss. A couple of sacks this year. First-round draft choice, the 20th player taken in 1994. Penalty gives the Oilers a first down. 1st and goal from the Miami 8. Again, it's George and Harmon split backs. Chandler looks to the end zone. Nothing there. Scrambles and makes it back to the 9-yard line when he's taken down by Daniel Stubbs.
That was awful good coverage by Miami. Very good coverage. You could see Chandler looking around for anybody, somebody to throw it to. Now, this is good enough protection in most instances, and especially on the goal line. But he looks outside, he looks back inside. He can't really find the receiver he wants to go to, and Stubbs does a great job. I believe that's his 8th sack of the season. He was the sack leader for the Miami Dolphins.
Indeed, it is number 8. You see inside the 20 what the Oilers have done. Their 2nd and goal from the 9. Harmon, nowhere to go. Reverses his field. Chandler gave him a block. Still surrounded and taken down for a big loss on the play by Lewis Oliver.
I don't think Chandler wants to do it again.
9-yard loss.
To the far side of the field, the tight end can't handle Stubbs. Wycheck can't handle 96. He has to reverse the field. There's the block.
Woo.
Actually, that's a pretty good block.
It was on Shane Burton.
Shane Burton's a 300+ pounder, but Chris Chandler does not. That's the last block today, fellas.
Now 3rd and goal all the way back to the 18-yard line. What had been such an impressive drive, stalling here late inside the red zone. Chandler's pass for the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Russell. Derek Russell's 2nd touchdown catch of the season, number 15 for Chris Chandler.
Well, that was great presence by Chandler. You know, that's a tough throw. He had to throw that over the outstretched arms of a linebacker, put it right in there for Russell to make the catch for the score.
And Al Del Greco is on to attempt the extra point. Hasn't missed in 22 opportunities this season. And Del Greco boots it through. Impressive start for the Houston Oilers. Russell with a touchdown catch. On the drive, Chris Chandler was 4 of 4, including this touchdown toss to Derek Russell. 7-0 Houston.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Ford Escort. It's new and it's nifty, made for the smart, the intelligent, thrifty. By Aetna U.S. Healthcare, raising the quality of healthcare in America. By HBO. It's not TV, it's HBO. And by FedEx, just what you want, just when you want it. With FedEx, it's the way the world works.
Welcome back to Houston. Derek Russell just receiving a beautiful pass from Chris Chandler. Chandler didn't miss on that drive, 4 for 4. Del Greco's kick. Kirby Dardar takes it at the goal line. Dardar hit and dropped at the 13 by Rodney Thomas. Thomas, who was a 1,000-yard rusher last year for the Oilers, lost his starting job in the backfield, but has been a bear on special teams.
As a matter of fact, Jeff Fisher told us he's volunteered for everything, not complained a bit. Whatever I can do to help you win. That is a major league stick, and that's also an indication to Miami. Houston's not going to roll over and play dead. Houston's going to be a tough opponent today.
So the first offensive play for the Miami Dolphins will be from their own 15-yard line. Dan Marino, the great one. First down pass, pumps once, and is sacked. Back at the 10-yard line, Joe Bowden. And welcome to those of you who have seen Buffalo defeat Cincinnati 31-17. Bruce Coslett's first loss as Bengal head coach. Tom Hammond and Bob Trumpy in Houston, where Jimmy Johnson and the Dolphins find themselves trailing the Houston Oilers 7-0 with 9:02 left in the opening quarter. Chris Chandler hitting Derek Russell with a touchdown pass to put the Oilers on top. These two teams hoping for the playoffs. Houston 6-4, Miami 5-5. Second and 14 for the Dolphins. Marino's pass intended for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and incomplete. Bowden defending on the play, and there's a Dolphin injured.
No, this is not the kind of start you want if you're Jimmy Johnson and the visiting Miami Dolphins. That's the all-pro guard Keith Sims on the turf.
So while they tend to Sims, we'll take a break with the Oilers leading 7-0. Where Keith Sims has been taken from the field after a seat on the Dolphin bench, replaced by the rookie from Stanford, Jeff Bucky, a 7th-round draft choice, 6'5", 300 pounds, at that crucial left guard spot. Third and 14 for the Dolphins. Marino from the gun, fires it complete, but well short of the first down to Randall Hill. Chris Dishman immediately takes him down.
Tom, the ball did pop loose. A couple of officials are standing there talking. Houston saying our ball. The officials are saying no, no, no.
Ball was not out before he hit the ground. Here it is.
A little bit of soft coverage here, but of course Houston's going to use those yard markers. Can't really tell from that angle, but it certainly looked like the forward progress stopped. Good call.
I thought he was down and a good call. It will be a punt formation for John Kidd. Kidd averaging 47.1 yards a punt. The dangerous Mel Gray awaits. Fair catch. Gray takes it at the 38-yard line. So the Oilers will take over at their own 38, already leading the Dolphins 7-0.
Back to that last reception by Randall Hill. When we look at it again, you see the hit by Dishman, and that ball is pulled loose. So the first break of the game goes to the Miami Dolphins. The officials ruled that is not a fumble.
Should have been Oiler ball. Instead, they'll have it at their own 39. 7:50 left. So the angle we saw before looked like it was a good call. That angle replay says no. Eddie George, only a couple of yards. We're told, by the way, that Keith Sims, who left the field for the Dolphins, will return, not seriously injured.
What a find this guy is, not for his athletic talent. When you talk to Houston Oilers coaches and members of management, this guy is a 10 off the field. The offensive line of the Houston Oilers lobbying for this young man to be Rookie of the Year.
And his physical talent no slouch either, as he's closing in on 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Chandler whips it right on target to Willie Davis. Davis out of bounds in Dolphin territory at the 47, chased out by Terrell Buckley, but it'll be a Houston first down. A cover of 13 yards on the completion by Chandler.
Always had an extremely strong arm. This is now the 5th season he's been with Jerry Rome. 3 at Arizona, 2 here at Houston, and understands the offense completely. Chandler's a guy, this is his 5th team in 7 years. Now seems to have found his place. There's Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator.
And Chandler off to a 5-for-5 start. Harmon in motion. Chandler's pass, another completion. This one to Sanders. Chris Sanders in his 2nd season from Ohio State, taken out of bounds by Sean Wooden. That's a 15-yard gain.
And Tom, we continually see Harmon and George in the backfield, and what it's doing is it's distorting the coverage of the Miami Dolphins. This deep out to Sanders, you see Harmon up front. There's no underneath help for Wooden. He's got to handle it by himself, and Sanders with an excellent catch.
And there's Tippy Toes, Chris Sanders. Always has run like that. He said people forget his first name, Chris. They call him Tippy Toes once they see him run. A great track star in his high school days in Denver. Inside the 30, Eddie George with another carry.
25, Oliver on the stop.
And of course, Oiler running backs are measured by the yardstick of the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell. Through 10 games of his rookie season, he had 944 yards. Right at 900 for Eddie George, coming into today's play already has gone over the 900-yard mark this afternoon.
Eddie George is 6'3", 233 pounds. We are talking a running back in fullback size.
2nd and 6. Chandler has hit all 6 of his passes. Draw play, handoff to George. And Eddie fights his way to the 15-yard line. Tim Bowens makes the tackle there.
You know, when a coach starts a football game, you want to establish some kind of control, some sense of we know what's happening, we know what's going on. Houston has that feeling offensively. Miami does not. With all the motion that Houston has run, it's really kind of pushed the Miami defense just kind of out of its envelope. They're just not in the right spots here.
3rd down and 3. Harmon and George, the split backs. Actually, it's Rodney Thomas in now for Eddie George. Chandler throws. Harmon puts on a little move and lowers his shoulder to the 15 where Sean Wooden takes him out of bounds. Another complete pass by Chris Chandler. This one another 1st down. 10 yards to Harmon.
Always been a great weapon, but here's Harmon. He follows motion, and again, he just kind of gets lost. The Miami defense really doesn't pick him up. Chris Chandler takes advantage of it. Wooden, after a nice 1st down pickup, has to knock him out of bounds. Look at that. 549 receptions. The quiet man.
4th all-time for Harmon in his 11th season now from Iowa. Had so many good years with San Diego. Before that with Buffalo. First miss by Chandler today. It's short-hopped Rodney Thomas. Incomplete. It'll bring up
20, Thomas, the intended receiver.
a 2nd down play and 10.
And Chandler saying, that's on me. You know, you like to see that. Interesting, when we talked to Jerry Rome the other day, he said, you know, this kid at Arizona was uncoachable. He did not want to listen to anything I said, thought he knew everything. He said, get away from me. Don't bother me. You don't want to be coached. I don't want to coach you. But 6 weeks later, he came back and said, I was stupid. Coach me. If he stays healthy, one of the best arms in the league.
So the mature Chris Chandler has benefited from talks with his father-in-law, former NFL quarterback John Brody. Chandler hits Wycheck, who bowls his way in for the score.
Tom, I got to tell you, that's 2 of the greatest opening drives of a game I think I've seen. First throw to Wycheck. He makes the catch. Oliver misses the tackle right there where he runs over him. Hollier missed or Singleton missed the tackle up front. And Wycheck runs over him. And Jimmy Johnson said, wait a minute, my mama and daddy are here. You're not supposed to do this to my homecoming.
And Frank Wycheck at 250 pounds carrying Dolphins into the end zone with him. Extra point by Del Greco. It is good.
Good. What a start.
Chris Chandler on fire. He finds Wycheck with that one. Chandler has been nearly perfect. And Jerry Rome says, thank you, Chris. Jimmy Johnson wanting some answers in his homecoming game and getting none so far as the Oilers take a 14-0 lead. Louis Oliver on the receiving end of a Johnson J.J. barrage. After Houston goes 61 yards and 8 plays, 15-yard pass to Wycheck. Del Greco's kick. Dardar from the 5, or Spikes it is from the 5-yard line. And Spikes breaking free across the 40 to the 41-yard line, where Terry Killens makes a saving tackle.
Down back to the touchdown. Here's Wycheck, and the matchup was Singleton just a little square out. You've got the Miami defense kind of sitting back on its heels. They're not sure what's coming next. An excellent throw and pattern run, and here's the big hit. Boom, Wycheck right over Louis Oliver for the score.
Here's Wycheck, H-back, 250 pounds. Time of possession over minutes for Houston, a minute 41 for the Dolphins. 35-yard Spikes return, though, gave him some breathing room with 4 minutes left in the quarter. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got a yard only. This is a Houston defense that ranks #1 in the NFL against the run. Tough up front with Anthony Cook and Gary Walker combining for that stop.
And they're not embarrassed at all to run 8 guys up at the line of scrimmage. Control as best they possibly can your opponent. When Buddy Ryan was here, look at that number. Now with Jeff Fisher running basically the same defense that Buddy Ryan ran, they were an awful lot better in 1996.
Marino hands again to Jabbar, and Abdul-Jabbar crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long for Miami. Tackle that time by middle linebacker Baron Wortham.
And of course now in the 3rd and long situations, you see Abdul-Jabbar leave the field. They bring in receivers, a little swifter guys in the backfield, a little better. Bernie Parmalee is one of them as an excellent receiver out of the backfield.
6 DBs, the nickel package on for the Oilers. Marino fires a strike, complete. Fred Barnett with a catch in traffic. Darrell Lewis had pretty good defense on him, and Barnett, who is a medical miracle that he's even playing, makes a tough reception.
Yeah, he's got people all over him, and the ball is low. He goes down and gets it, twice. Had the same ACL, that is anterior cruciate ligament, replaced. The doctors told him after the surgery, you've got an 80 to 85% chance of never playing again. He comes back in 2.5 months.
And his first 6 years with the Eagles, and is one of the top receiving targets for Dan Marino now with the Dolphins. Marino's pass off the back of the defender. Michael Barrow was defending Stanley Pritchett and will be flagged for the interference. Maybe not. Conference. Barrow, who played his college football at Miami, recruited by Jimmy Johnson, who promised him he wouldn't leave and then promptly did.
Pass interference against Houston.
Pass interference. 56 defense. First down, Miami.
On a back out of the backfield, you see 56 matched up to 36, and when Pritchett looks back, there's the contact. There's no question that that's pass interference. If the defender will turn his head around, look back, they'll give him a break.
But despite the fact that Barrow says he went to Miami because of Jimmy Johnson, who promised he wouldn't leave and then did, they are still friends, still part of the family, he said. In fact, was on the sidelines during the playoffs when Jimmy was with the Cowboys. Marino to Abdul-Jabbar. Nothing there. Stopped in his tracks. Blaine Bishop, the strong safety who is great on run support, in fact is the top tackler on this Oiler team, makes the hit on Abdul-Jabbar.
And Tom, one of the great secrets, I think, of the Houston defense is the fact that the defensive backs have played together so long. Here's Bishop right here. Bills from the inside. And Jeff Fisher, he played in Chicago under Buddy Ryan. He coached under Buddy Ryan, and he just puts in enough of that 46 defense. Goes safeties at the line of scrimmage to really blow up an offensive play.
Marino facing 2nd and 10. Short gain as Abdul-Jabbar out of the backfield, taken down immediately by Michael Barrow.
There is a Miami Dolphin on the AstroTurf.
Dolphin player shaking up on the play.
Might be Keith Sims again, we're not sure.
And the last time it was his arm or shoulder. Now they're looking at his knee. The point I was going to make, Tom, about this Houston defense is when you get your opponent down and you make them. You're right, it is Keith Sims again. When you make your opponent, the offense, throw the ball a lot, that plays right into the hands. Here's Sims right here. See if we can see what happens. Oh yeah, rolled right up on his ankle. And Keith Sims is down for the 2nd time. But when Miami gets, or any opponent against this Houston defense gets in long yardage situations, this Houston defense, they bring people from everywhere.
Sims gingerly walking off the field with assistance. Welcome to those of you who have seen the Colts with a hard-fought victory over the Jets, 34-29. Colts finally get that back on track, 6-5 now. Tom Hammond and Bob Crumpy in Houston, where the Oilers have an early 14-0 lead on Jimmy Johnson and the Miami Dolphins. Jimmy Johnson from Port Arthur, Texas, about 100 miles from Houston, with 35 members of his family, including his mom and dad, watching today. And with less than a minute remaining in the first quarter, down 14-0, facing a 3rd and 10 at the Houston 28-yard line. Marino's pass, tossing and stopped short of the first down. Marcus Robertson made a great hit on Fred Barnett, and the Dolphins will come up short of first down yardage.
And Tom, again, it's those 4 defensive backs. That time there were 6, but the 4 core defensive backs of the Houston Oilers have played 3 years together, and they just know where each other are. Now watch Robertson come up there and make that hit. That's just knowing where your defensive partner is, was, should be. I'll take that spot. Well executed.
So Joe Nedney is on to attempt a field goal. It'll be a 39-yard attempt. Nedney boots it up, and no good. Nedney, who has hit only 10 now of 18 field goal attempts this season, misfires from 39 yards. Nedney sends it on its way, and it will not fade back through the goalposts. So in the closing stages of the opening quarter, the Oilers remain up on the Dolphins by 14. Start the second quarter, 14-0 Houston. Chris Chandler, 8 of 9 in that first quarter, 103 yards, hitting 6 different receivers en route to that 14-0 lead. Eddie George hit behind the line, dropped for a loss on the play by Daniel Stubbs.
Brought down by 96.
And Stubbs took a quick inside move on the offensive tackle Hopkins and was right there just as Eddie George got the handoff.
George held relatively in check, 5 carries, 12 yards so far.
Now, Eddie George is one of those guys, though, you just got to keep giving it to him. You can't give up on Eddie George.
Here's the I formation. Wycheck at fullback, George at tailback. Eddie George, a little bit of a counter play to the 30-yard line. Steve Edmond makes the tackle there. It'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Oilers.
When you jump out 14-0, you can be conservative. You know, run the ball a little bit just to give your offensive line a chance to beat up the opponent a little bit. Slow them down. There's Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, on the sideline.
Houston has converted both of their previous second downs. Ronnie Harmon, the specialist, is the lone setback on 3rd and 9. Blitz on Chandler. The Oilers pick it up, but Chandler's pass nearly intercepted. Buckley nearly had number 7, the pass intended for Willie Davis, and Buckley arguing he was interfered with.
What Terrell tell us, JJ said, I want playmakers. That's what I want. I want playmakers. This is excellent coverage. Reads the cut, and veteran move kind of pushes off a little bit to give himself momentum.
You know, I think he had a point. I think Willie Davis grabbed his hand.
Well, veterans always complain. You know, it's part of the playbook.
Reggie Roby, the former Dolphin, in punt formation for the Oilers. And O.J. McDuffie draws a bead on it. Fair catch called, taken at the Dolphin 35-yard line. There's Reggie Roby, who spent many years in a Miami uniform. That one, though, only covered 37 yards. That backside should be familiar to Dolphin fans. 14-0 Oilers. This is, at least for now, the home of the Houston Oilers. They've already announced they will play here again next season before moving on to Nashville, Tennessee. First down, Miami at their own 35-yard line. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. About 4 yards, just short of the 40. Joe Bowden makes the tackle for the Oilers. Dan Marino opens the day 4 of 5 for 20 yards after exceeding 50,000 yards passing last week. That's 26 miles. We figure that with over 300 yards today, he'd have marathon distance, huh? 26 miles, 385 yards.
Yeah, with his pins, with the surgery on his ankles, he can throw 26 miles, 385. He can't run 26 miles, 385 yards.
Or walk.
Or walk.
2nd and 6. Blitz and sack. The ball's loose. And it looks like the Dolphins recovered. Let's see. James Robertson. Robertson, the man that knocked the ball free, and then the scramble for it. Bowden was there. Drayton is there for the Dolphins.
Causing the fumble on the play.
But Tom, Robertson was untouched. Again, that Jeff Fisher defense of pressuring the line of scrimmage. Here he is right here. You're going to see that the offensive line rules are block inside first, and the right tackle, James Brown, just absolutely ignores Robertson for the clean hit on Marino. And Miami's very lucky to have or to retain possession of the football.
Troy Drayton with textbook fumble recovery form here as he cradled his body around it.
Boom. Man, it's a good thing Dan Marino had that rib pad on.
Goes in the books as a 17-yard loss. It's 3rd and 23. Crossing pattern. Marino completes the pass to Bernie Parmalee. Parmalee taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Barrow and Bishop. Well short of the first down, and the Dolphins will have to punt.
And Houston's getting Miami in exactly the situation they want them. Long yardage. And then they can come with that those designer sacks and that trick defense.
Number 21 now, Gray.
Hit in punt formation for the Dolphins. And the whistles blow. 11:41 left till halftime, and the game dominated by the Oilers.
Please set the game clock to 11 minutes and 30 seconds and start the clock on my signal.
There's the word from Ron Blum. .45 yards on the first effort by John Kidd. And we still haven't gotten the clock reset as Mel Gray awaits it. Gray returning to action after being injured. And many say he's the best returner, kickoff, or punts of all time. What do you think?
I agree, and he's basically volunteered for the job. That's all he's ever wanted to do. It's been 5 or 6 years since he had a rush or a reception. He loves playing special teams.
4 times to the Pro Bowl. Kidd's boot sails toward Gray. From the 24, backtracks and is Bang down hard. Good special teams play by Bernie Parmalee. There's Parmalee, who made the hit on special teams coverage. We'll take a break with the Oilers up 14. I'm Hammond, Bob Trumpy in Houston, where the Oilers have dominated thus far. 11:07 left until halftime. First down count 9 for the Oilers, only 2 for the Dolphins, one of those by penalty. Jimmy Johnson playing the rest of the game without All-Pro left guard Keith Sims, who has sprained his knee. From the 24, first down for Houston. Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon totes it to the 30, tackled by Shane Burton. Let's go to Greg Gumbel for an update.
All right, Tom, in San Francisco, Elvis Gerbach from 34 yards out to who else? Jerry Rice for the catch. 17-7, San Francisco leading Baltimore. That annoying sound you hear is the mayor of San Francisco vacillating, Tom.
All right, Greg, 17-7 there, and 14-0 Oilers here. 10:30 and counting in the first half.
Well, they're going to reset the clock again.
Another conference as we check the scores. There's that 17-7 49er lead.
Please set it to 10:35 and start both clocks on my signal.
Arizona with an early lead on the Giants. These are the late games. San Diego out early on the Bucks. And here in Houston, 10:35 as they reset the clock, and it's 14-0 Oilers. 2nd and 4 for Chandler, who's been practically flawless in this first half. Just beat the play clock. Screen pass. Eddie George. George broke one tackle and makes it to the 40 and beyond an Oilers first down. Nice running by Eddie George. Bowens and Wooden are forced to bring him down, and interesting after an 11-yard gain. What I said earlier, that Sean Wooden, they went to the same high school, George and Wooden beat him out for running back. Wooden would go on to Notre Dame and be switched to defense, and George would go to Fort Union Military Academy. Here is Eddie George with the run, and as it turns out, Eddie recruited Ohio State rather than the other way around.
That's true, but then Eddie George will tell you he hurt his shoulder, and that's the only reason Wooden took over for him.
Ronnie Harmon. Harmon with some nifty running. Has another first down out of bounds in Dolphin territory at about the 45. Chased out by Terrell Buckley. A 14-yard gain as Harmon showed us some moves there.
Yeah, Tom, Miami comes with the blitz. How Harmon gets up through there is beyond me, but watch what he does. He kind of turns sideways, and the blitzers run right by him. Oh, Bruce Matthews with 2 blocks. He does an outstanding job. He and Stepnoski handle that mass right there in the middle beautifully, and Ronnie Harmon just pops through there. Miami's defense getting desperate now, coming with the blitz on the rundown.
74 Matthews, if you weren't with us earlier, got the game ball after playing in his 211th game, a Houston record. Eddie George. Loss on the play, back to the 49. Good defense by the Dolphins as Bowens got penetration. They had the sweep going, and George never got to the corner because of the penetration by Tim Bowens.
Yeah, he can penetrate now at somewhere around 310, 315. Still learning how to play that defensive tackle spot. You know, they got those, Miami's got those 2 young defensive tackles, he and Gardner. And the most difficult thing for these young guys to learn is to stop looking. Fight pressure, don't sneak a peek. Yardage, again, dominant by Houston.
Bowens making the big play, though, the former rookie defensive player of the year. Chandler going deep and overshooting his intended receiver, Chris Sanders. J.B. Brown defending Sanders on the play.
Miami again with the blitz. You're going to see pressure coming from outside, and it's picked up and picked up well. Chandler steps up, overthrows Sanders, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this young man, number 81, Tippy Toes, has wonderful speed.
He was the Colorado State High School champion at 100 meters, 200 meters, and in the long jump.
Third down.
And also dabbled with track at Ohio State, but said he always thought of himself as a football player first. Good protection for Chandler. Whips it downfield again and again overthrows his intended receiver, in this case Willie Davis, who was matched up with Buckley and Brown.
Hey, why not? 14-0. Not really much of a move here. Just tries to run right by the cornerback. Does, and again Chandler with that strong arm overthrows him. But why not take a couple of shots deep, loosen up the defense a little bit.
And on fourth down, Reggie Roby returns to punt formation as Chandler misfires on 2 long ones. Roby has it blocked. Punt blocked. And taken at about the 30-yard line. Kirby Dardar, number 87, the man that broke through to block Reggie Roby's punt.
Tommy comes from the outside, and Jimmy Johnson starts every practice with special teams. That's how important they are to him. And Dardar comes from the outside. Reggie Roby, not deliberate, but he doesn't sense that there's any pressure whatsoever. Dardar maybe will ignite this Miami football team. Certainly give him the short field.
Renee Stewart sort of blocked Dardar into the punt. There's Roby, who had his punt blocked, and so the Dolphins take over at the Oilers 31. 8 minutes left, second quarter, 14-0 Houston. Spikes only got a tough yard. Once again, the Houston Oilers, best in the league against the run, make it awfully tough on the ground. That time, Henry Ford made the tackle, and I guess we'll return home to tinker with that Model T.
This bunch up front for Houston, who are these guys? Cook, Walker, Ford, and Robert Young.
You know, they had that no-name defense in Miami, right? And they have equated this Houston Oilers defense to no-name defense. But how can you say no names? They've got Henry Ford and Robert Young. And
No. Most people don't know who they are. Not famous names. They don't know who they are.
Oh, I get it. Marino. Quick release, fires complete inside the 20. Dolphin first down. Fred Barnett again in traffic.
Flag is down.
There is a penalty marker on the play. 11-yard gain if it stands. Hold against Houston, so it will stand. Barnett celebrates.
Yeah, he's only had 3 weeks work with Dan Marino.
23 defense. Penalties decline. First down.
Blaine Bishop on the hold.
Barnett on the outside only had 3 weeks to really work on what Dan Marino wants, and he said, look, Dan Marino's the conductor, and I'll do what he wants. Now, this is a veteran player. The Dolphins chose not to put him on IR when he tore up his knee.
Which was amazing anyway, huh?
Yeah. And he comes back and is going to be a big contributor.
19-yard line, first down Miami. They trail by 14. Spikes turns the corner. Irving Spikes collides with Wortham and Robertson, but has the ball at about the 11-yard line.
Now Spikes, the fullback, plays running back. Short little guy, great strength in his legs. A decent pull there done by the offensive line. Watch his hit. That's 2 big hitters. Robertson on Spikes. They will knock helmets all day long and neither back off.
Marcus Robertson, we asked him about that name. Marcus, he said he was named after Marcus Welby, MD. And who's he playing with on this defense? Robert Young. Nothing doing for Irving Spikes. Stopped at the 10 by Wortham and Cook.
At 78, Cook.
Going to bring up third down and about 2 for the Dolphins. Desperately needing some points. Less than 6 minutes till halftime.
It is third down.
Jeff Fisher and his Oilers have played good defense all season long, especially against the run. 3rd and 2. That fact might force Marino to put it in the air. He will. for the end zone and the touchdown. Irving Spikes out of the backfield.
Boy, that kid did a great job. There was excellent coverage by Barrow. The block punt on Reggie Roby gives the Miami Dolphins great field position. Spikes kind of made that up. Spikes, that's just his 8th catch of the season. He runs the, here's Spikes right here, and he runs the out. You're going to see 56 pick him up while he kind of goes out of the screen. But then Marino looks away. Spikes turns up into the end zone. Marino comes back to him with that quick release, gets the ball for the score.
And Nedney puts the extra point through. So Kirby Dardar blocks the punt. Spikes makes Oilers pay with a touchdown catch. A rookie from Syracuse blocks the punt, and the Dolphins move within 7 after the touchdown catch, second of his career by Irving Spikes. Nedney to kick off, typically buries it in the end zone, and playing inside, he will again, although Gray decides to bring it out from a yard deep. Gets a block from Harmon, but nowhere to go. Taken down at the 15-yard line. Bad decision by Gray, who took it out of the end zone. Well, Jimmy Johnson telling us yesterday one of the reasons that they are at 500 and hoping for better is turnovers. They are plus 13 now this season.
Here's Irving Spikes. Michael Barrow picks him up. When he runs the pattern, he turns it up into the end zone. Now you're going to see that Marino looks at him first, sees the coverage out there. Barrow's waiting for him, and then Spikes on his own turns it up, and that lightning quick release by Dan Marino strikes again. First touchdown reception of the season, second of his career. Well done, young man.
So once again, the turnover pays off for the Dolphins. Oilers try to come back. Thomas and Harmon in the backfield. Hand off to Thomas, and he has nowhere to go. Tim Bowens leads defensive charge for the Dolphins, who, as you predicted, they might have been sparked a bit by that turnover and resulting touchdown.
Yeah, they needed something. Jimmy Johnson is one of those guys that has always been a button pusher, and right now it's 2nd and 11 for Houston. He's thinking 2-3 series ahead, telling coaches, we're going to do this, we're going to try that. He never stays with what's going on right in front of him.
Chandler, quick drop. Wide check. Short gain on the play, only a couple of yards. Lewis Oliver, the hard-hitting, strong safety, makes the play for the Dolphins.
And Tom, again, I said earlier that Jimmy Johnson starts every practice with special teams. You never know when a special team is going to win you a game, it can lose you a game, or turn the momentum in the favor of your team. And already we've seen this afternoon, turn the momentum in the favor of the Dolphins. We're seeing the defense respond also to that block punt right here.
3rd and long. 3 wide receivers, Sanders, Davis, and Russell. Harmon, the lone setback. Chandler got rid of it, but broken up. Great defense by the Dolphins, intended for Derek Russell. And Roby will come out to try another punt.
Looks like Burton was the man, 75, who comes up. They run a couple of stunts to try to get pressure on Chandler, and it works. I mean, he jumps right inside. Actually, the defensive tackle holds the offensive guard right into the stomach of Chandler. And again, that block punt, that's the spark.
And on the other end, Tim Jacobs batted the ball to the turf. And so here's Roby again, had his last one blocked. Got this one away. Towering toward McDuffie. O.J. from the 33-yard line. Dodged one man, but not the second. Taken down at the 34-yard line. Roby got that one away. 14-7. We'll take a break. 3:35 till halftime. Back in Houston, Reggie Roby had the punt block that led to a Miami touchdown. And this last one, though, he could have timed on that watch. The hang time, 51 yards on the Roby punt. So the Dolphins take over at their own 35. 3:35 till halftime. And Marino changing the play.
Yeah, they switched to a 46 defense, Houston did here.
Marino wings it down the sideline and incomplete. Over the head of his intended receiver, who was Fred Barnett. Darrell Lewis, stride for stride. This defense Houston plays puts a lot of pressure on those corners, Lewis and Dishman, doesn't it? The safeties are called on for a lot of run support, and a lot of times Dishman and Lewis matched up one-on-one.
And they don't mind it. They're two of the best man-on-man bump and run cover corners you can find in the league. Dishman, who used to be a real mouth-off, now is almost a gentleman. I said almost a gentleman.
I wouldn't want to test that theory down on the field. Marino 7 of 9, 49 yards. Pass number 10 coming up. It's a screen, batted around, and it falls incomplete. Oiler defense had penetration on the blocker set up over there, and it was Robert Young that eventually batted down the ball. Father knows best.
99 is right up here. Young, it's a screen. You're right. He gets around Richmond Webb. Marino senses it. Boy, he hit his fingers right on that helmet too. Did you see that? Oh, he got up grabbing his fingers. This is an active bunch up front for the Houston Oilers. I mean, they believe that they're as good as anybody in the league, whether anybody knows them or not.
3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. They are 2 of 5 on 3rd down. Nickel defense, 6 defensive backs. Marino's pass. Barnett can't get it. Flag down. Darrell Lewis, again matched up on Barnett, will be flagged for interference. There's the call on Lewis. Marino still shaking that right hand where he hit those fingers on the helmet. As valuable as a surgeon's hand.
Yeah,
huh?
well, it's occupational hazard. When you get some pressure, he's going to keep following through. That's the screen where he first hits him right on it. It looks like either the face mask or the side of the helmet. And here's the bump and run by Lewis. And Lewis again, well, he gets his head around, but the officials don't buy it.
So spot the ball at the Houston 49. First down Dolphins. 3:20 left in the half. Marino off the hands of Barnett and incomplete again. It was Lewis and Barnett matched up head and head, tooth for nail, fighting, scrapping for the football.
Both very good at what they do. Barnett can handle bump and run. He's a big, strong receiver. See the little push off? That's the professional job. As a veteran, you learn to do that. Lewis stayed right there. That's a matchup worth watching any Sunday. All over the league, you got guys like that. These are two of the best.
Barnett gave him that little Michael Irvin move,
yes.
didn't he? That little push off as you make your cut. There is the veteran Barnett, 6 years with the Eagles, coming back from 2 ACL surgeries to play here for the Dolphins. Play action fake. Marino fires it complete to McDuffie. O.J. McDuffie diving for the first down, has it out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Lewis knocked him out.
You know, for all the surgery he's had on his ankle, he's still able to move around just enough. The little roll, the fake handoff to Jabbar. Now watch 80. He goes out of the screen. He should come back in. Fred Barnett catches the ball. Well, you don't see the block. Nice little assisting block here on this time Chris Dishman. Another bit of the veteran, you know. Help your fellow receiver as best you can.
Pretty charitable if you called that a block. Looked like he slipped down and got in the way, but I guess it was effective. 11-yard gain. McDuffie for the first down. Marino. Whoop. Drayton never looked. And here's a late flag just coming in. Bowden and Robertson were defending on the play. Drayton had a step, but never looked back. Hold against the Oilers. That'll be an automatic first down.
Holding 58 defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Bowden is guilty of the hold. And they'll put the ball down at the 33-yard line. First down, Miami.
Houston goes with a double zone, so you have linebacker coverage on the tight end. Drayton, another new member of the Dolphins, only been there 5 weeks, but the flag makes it a first down.
Hand off to Abdul-Jabbar. Got 3 yards just inside the 30 where Robertson and Walker put the hit on him.
Haven't seen this young man a lot. Abdul-Jabbar may be the quickest guy to the line of scrimmage I've seen in several years. I mean, he explodes to the line of scrimmage.
Approaching the 2-minute warning here. Looks like the Dolphins will not run another play. Dolphins with 7 first downs in the first half, and 3 of them have come by penalty. Marino over to talk things over as we stop the clock at 2 minutes. 2-minute warning with the Oilers up 14-7, but Miami threatening. 2 minutes left first half, 14-7 Houston, but Miami threatening with a 2nd and 6 from the Oiler 29-yard line. And the football actually resting just inside the Houston 30 as Pritchett goes in motion. Abdul-Jabbar with a seam, breaks to the sideline, a stiff arm, and he's down and out of bounds close to the 15-yard line. Darrell Lewis saved a touchdown with that tackle as Abdul-Jabbar exploded for 14 yards.
Tom, do you see how quick to the line of scrimmage? Now, this is slow motion, but watch. Just a blur with that step right there. Just up the field. Jimmy Johnson even had to admit that he was wrong about his
and that was tough for him to do.
I'm not sure he's ever done it before. But he came to camp late and then sprained 2 ankles and was not contributing. And Jimmy jumped all over him. He said, I was wrong. This kid is a player.
And once again, we are resetting the clock.
Yeah, they're saying that last play took what, 31 seconds to run? I don't think so. They haven't reset the clock correctly. Yeah, now they have.
Ball mark ready for play from the 17, first down Miami. Abdul-Jabbar hit and dropped for a loss. Boy, Houston just stacked up the interference, and the play finally made by Blaine Bishop to stop Abdul-Jabbar. There's that hard-hitting safety who leads the Oilers in tackles.
You're going to see this defense just fight the spot where they want to run the sweep. This is the same play again, but Blaine Bishop, the safety up there, takes on the offensive guard, grabs the leg of Jabbar, drops him for a loss. And Blaine Bishop, I'm telling you, we'll get a look at him later. If they straighten his legs out, he can play power forward for any team in the NBA. That's as bold a set of legs that I've ever seen on anybody.
Bishop, a Pro Bowler last year, 4th season from Ball State. Quick drop, Marino behind McDuffie. There's a flag down. And it will be against the Dolphins. Dishman says, push them back.
Well, that was a quick flag. Thrown by the referee, Ron Blum.
Holding, 76 offense. 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
James Brown guilty of the hold.
See if we can pick up what happened, but there are times when Houston, here's the offensive right tackle. See where the pressure comes from. Now it's Barrow jumps inside. He's a new pass rusher for the Houston Oilers.
10-yard
And that quick inside move tricks Brown. Good call, easy call.
Don't forget to stay with us at halftime for the Domino's Pizza NFL and NBC halftime report. 32 seconds away. From the shotgun, Marino with all the time in the world gets McDuffie to the 19-yard line. Bishop got him around the shoe tops. And timeout taken, stopping the clock at 23 seconds.
Nice job done here by Bishop. You're going to see him again. He's almost playing like a linebacker, but he's matched up with McDuffie. Excellent tackler, and he makes it.
Timeout. Miami hoping to tie it up before halftime.
Miami was going to deploy here on this 3rd and 12. And then Jeff Fisher is going to make the adjustment defensively.
Jeff Fisher talking to us yesterday about the chemistry of this team and the way they've been able to block out all the distractions of the move to Nashville. He said the uncertainty is the toughest thing. It's beneficial now that they know they will be here playing in Houston again next year at the Astrodome. before they move on to Nashville as the new stadium is built in the Tennessee capital city.
As a matter of fact, Jeff Fisher, now since David Shula got fired, is the youngest head coach in the NFL. And I think his task, breaking down, getting rid of the run and shoot, and building up a football team, probably the most difficult thing to do in the NFL, and he's done it beautifully.
Bud Adams, the owner of the Oilers, will
Miami on the Oilers 20.
take them off to Nashville. Not the most popular man in these parts these days. 3rd down and 13. Marino's pass caught, but a sure-handed open field tackle by Raphael Robinson prevents McDuffie from getting the first down. It'll be 4th down.
There was decent pressure on Marino, too. He had to hustle that throw. Again, rely on that quick release. Going to wait for the field goal attempt, run the clock down.
Telling the referee, I'm going to call timeout with about 3 seconds, and he does. So that the field goal attempt, barring penalty, will be the final play of the half. Nedney already has missed one today from 39 yards.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 completely different quarters, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
Houston owned the first, Miami the second. Tough place to play.
Yeah, you played here, Bob.
Yeah, this Astrodome, tough place to play. That ring of lights was one of the most difficult things to get used to. The ball goes into, hangs in those lights, comes out, hard to catch. There's a lot of tough things about this place to play football. It is very hot on that field. It's not great, never has been.
34-yard attempt. 34 yards for Nedney. And he boots it through.
Oilers 14.
So from the hold by John Kidd, Joe Nedney gets the field goal on the last play of the half. Jimmy Johnson, the Port Arthur, Texas native, with his homecoming, finds himself down by 4 at halftime. Now for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Let's go to Houston, where the Oilers lead the Dolphins 14-10 as we get ready to start the 3rd quarter. Al Del Greco will kick off for the Oilers to get the 3rd quarter underway. A game dominated early by the Houston Oilers, and then the Dolphins getting back in it. Deep Spikes and Dardar. Coors Light halftime stats showing us that Houston has an edge in first downs, in passing yardage, and in total yards, and in time of possession. But the big play was a blocked punt, which I guess doesn't count as a turnover, but is the same thing, which led to Miami's touchdown. Del Greco's kick taken by Dardar. He's the man that blocked that punt. And Dardar, short of the 30-yard line, taken down. And we get the 3rd quarter underway. Well, no question that Miami needed a spark, and it was Dardar and the block of the Roby punt that really got Miami going.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they really did right, and then it turned in Miami's favor, and frankly, neither team has run the ball particularly well. Both want to do that to kind of control it, but 14 points for Houston in the first quarter, 10 points for Miami in the second quarter. Now let's see what each coach had to say at halftime to try to inspire these troops.
And the Dolphins begin from their own 29 with a handoff to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Got the corner for a moment, crossed the 30-yard line, and then is taken out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down coming up for the Dolphins.
And of course, to repeat, Jimmy Johnson told us that they're now stubborn when it comes to the run, and down 14-10. Those are 2 second quarter scores that allows Abdul-Jabbar to stay in the game. He can stay with the run, be persistent, try to soften up this Houston defense, which has played very well so far in this football game.
Said sometimes he has to remind them, even though we're not getting anything done on the run, let's keep getting it. Let's keep going after it. We don't want to surrender the run.
It's
Marino's pass complete, but a short gain only. Brett Barnett with a catch, and then Darrell Lewis pounces all over him.
now again, you see the influence of the Jeff Fisher. Here's the 2 linebackers, the double sync. The defensive line is down inside, and pressure comes from almost everywhere. I see 3, 6, 7 guys coming. 52, Baron Wortham was untouched. Kind of let up on Dan Marino a little bit. Completion, not for much yards, but a completion. This is a tough defense, and they started running it back in the middle 80s. It's still tough to run offense against.
On 3rd and long, Marino in the gun. Sends McDuffie in motion. Broken up, intended for Scott Miller. Steve Jackson knocked it down.
6 DBs that time for the Houston Oilers. And Jackson does an excellent job anticipating what's happening. He sees the ball better than Miller did.
So the first possession of the second half, Jackson makes the play on defense, and the Dolphins will have to give it up. Kidd on to punt. Gray has his eye on it and takes it at the 23-yard line, slips, and is covered at about the 27-yard line, where the Oilers will have their first possession of the half. 44-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. Tom Hammond, Bob Trumpy in Houston. The Oilers leading 14-10 over the Dolphins. Their first possession of the second half. Leading rusher for Houston after the first half was Willie Davis, who carried one time on a double reverse, gained 15 yards. As you pointed out, neither team able to rush the ball effectively today.
Kind of surprising, too. I mean, Houston's defensive front excellent against the run. Miami's had problems against the run, but they've done a good job against this Houston running game today.
Wycheck and George in the backfield. First down from the Houston 27. Davis, the motion man. Chandler fumbled the football. Fumbled the exchange from center. And a scramble for it. Still no signal. Apparently the Oilers recovered.
You know, that's happened a lot to the Oilers. Stepnoski and Chandler. I don't know what the problem is, but that's happened several times so far this season. And it looks like Chandler just jumped out there too quickly. Bowens, 95, the defensive tackle, dove in there, but a Houston Oilers offensive lineman recovered it.
Disaster averted, but it did lose 2 yards. It's 2nd and 12. Eddie George. And a couple of nice cuts, crosses the 30 to the 31, where he's hit by Louis Oliver.
Tom, it looks like every time that Ronnie Harmon is in the lineup, and he was on that last play, then Miami tries to put an extra defensive back in. Doing so, it stretches the Miami defense, makes the run a little easier, takes a linebacker out of the game, and I think that's something that Houston can exploit in the second half. Just use Harmon as a decoy.
Harmon is in there now with Wycheck and 3 wide receivers, Russell, Davis, and Sanders. Chandler's pass. Wycheck fumbled it. Is it a reception? No. Incomplete pass. Oliver, living up to his reputation as a hard hitter, jarred the ball loose, and it falls incomplete. So like Miami, Houston is 3 and out on its first possession.
There's the matchup right here. You're going to see Wycheck make the catch, and you're right, a big hit by Louis Oliver, or that is a completion. Oliver's kind of now a favorite son of Miami. There, left, came back.
Right.
Now he's much quieter, working a lot harder, and contributing a lot more.
And of course, played his college football with the Gators up in Gainesville. That is not an eclipse of the moon. That is Reggie Roby on to punt. McDuffie getting behind the wall, cuts back to the inside and is trapped at about the 35-yard line by Raphael Robinson. Oilers will have it back, but still down 4. Welcome back to Houston. While we were away, the rookie running back Eddie George had a word of encouragement for his veteran offensive lineman. Unusual to see, but there was George, the rookie, giving encouragement to his elders. Marino's first down pass complete. Drayton, the tight end. Troy Drayton takes it for a first down before he's chased down by Marcus Robertson.
Been with the Miami Dolphins now 5 weeks, has Troy Drayton. Traded from the Rams. Another one of those players traded from the Rams. Had kind of an ouchy knee, had a sprain, not really 100% healthy, but a huge weightlifter, great blocker, And Jimmy Johnson went after this guy strong.
Said he would have drafted him when he came out of college, out of Penn State, but the Rams took him first. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar keeps his legs churning, crosses the 50 down to the 48 of Houston. Tackled there by Baron Wortham and Joe Bowden.
Not the biggest running back you're going to find in the league, but great acceleration. Generally hangs onto the ball. One of those downhill kind of runners. You know, he doesn't give up on his offensive line either. He's looking for any little seam in there just to pop one through. It's got great speed.
Good friend of Keyshawn Johnson, the #1 player in the draft, playing for the Jets, though they went to opposite schools in L.A. Abdul-Jabbar to UCLA and Keyshawn Johnson to USC. Abdul-Jabbar thrown back. So two fine rookie running backs on display here, Abdul-Jabbar and Eddie George. Anthony Cook made that play. I know that George buys his offensive lineman dinner when he rushes for 100 yards, and I don't know what he's going to do if he gets offensive rookie of the year. Actually, it might be better off than buying some of those big hogs dinner. I don't know. But
yeah. Well, he's a first-round draft choice, won the Heisman Trophy winner. Abdul-Jabbar's third round. No dinners for my offensive lineman. Third-rounders don't get first-round Heisman Trophy winning money.
An injured Dolphin. We'll pick up who it is and tell you when we return with Houston up 14-10. The injured Dolphin was Chris Gray, the starting right guard. So Gray goes to the sideline, replaced by Everett McIver, and that means the two starting guards of the Dolphins now out of the game. Sims left with a sprained knee. 3rd and 4. Flag down. Marino's pass behind his intended target, Bernie Parmalee. It was an early flag.
Prior to the snap, 66, offense, false start, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
That was Everett McIver, who just came in for Chris Gray. And the Dolphins are running painfully short of offensive linemen now. By my count, they have only one more in reserve. That would be John Bach.
And we heard that Sims is not going to be back. We do not know about Chris Gray. They're going to get a fellow teammate roll up on his ankle. They're going to try to retape it, see if he can get back in.
Miami's only 2 of 7 on 3rd downs. Marino steps up and throws a strike down the sideline. Caught by Fred Barnett. Wow, and I think that's 3 catches in this game in traffic with guys all over him. I don't know how he does it. Chris Dishman had great coverage, it looked like.
And watch what Barnett does. He doesn't give any indication to Dishman that the ball is coming. Gets by again at great strength. He sees it coming. Dishman doesn't know it's coming. Look, when Dish turns around the ball, wow, that is a veteran play.
And Marino put it the only place it could be complete, I guess, right in the breadbasket of Fred Barnett for 25 yards.
Sometimes Marino is scary.
Laser-guided passes. Abdul-Jabbar twisted down by Wortham and by Cook, and might have lost half a yard.
You know, a lot of people, when Jimmy Johnson took over the Miami Dolphins, he said, look, Dan Marino is going to play a big part. We are going to run the ball. We are not going to put it squarely on Dan Marino's shoulders. But, you know, he's a nice wild card to throw in there every once in a while. You know, Dan, look, put it between 2 hands, 20 yards down the field on the sideline so our guy can catch it. Okay.
What's Jimmy call him? The candy store. He said Marino's the candy store. Well, it's too tempting to go into the candy store. Sometimes you have to restrain yourself. Play action fake, and Marino puts it up. He was under pressure and had to let it go. Meanwhile, for a Baltimore-San Francisco update, let's go to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Tom, big turnover here. Watch Terry Kirby with the handoff, lose the handle. Anthony Pleasant picks it up. Can you be surrounded by any more teammates than this? He returns 36 yards. It set up an Eric Zier to James Jones touchdown, and Baltimore with the lead now over the 49ers, 20-17, 3rd quarter, Tom.
What about that? The Ravens, who had fallen on hard times, they just couldn't stop anybody in recent games, with a lead on the 49ers in San Francisco. Here, 14-10 Oilers, 3rd down and 9 for Marino. From the gun, flags down, and that one will be blown dead. James Brown, the right tackle, with a false start. That'll make it 3rd and about 14 or 15 coming up for the Dolphins.
Prior to the snap, 76 offense, false start, 5 yards, repeat third down.
And for a town and a stadium where this team is leaving, actually it got pretty loud there for a moment, and I think it affected Jones. You got Barrow over him, and Jones tries to get a quick set, and the officials always catch those big guys when they do that.
Actually, the fans of Houston have supported the Oilers fairly well, everything considered, considering that they're lame ducks, and something in excess of 45,000 here today, including a sizable Dolphin contingent, we should add. Marino stepping up, delivering short. Pass caught by Parmalee, and nice open field work by Barrow and Bishop.
Bishop 23 on the stop, along with Barrow. 56.
So fourth down coming up is Michael Barrow. You know, his first name is spelled M-I-C-H-E-A-L. And we asked him about it. He said, well, you know, my dad was from the Caribbean, and his spelling wasn't so great in English, you know. And but then when they asked him, he said, oh, no, that's the way I wanted it.
Absolutely,
don't question my spelling.
And don't question my spelling.
Field goal attempt by Nedney. 44 yards and good. Longest of the season for Nedney. 44 yards. Pulls the Dolphins within a point. Jimmy Johnson has seen his rookie kicker Joe Nedney connect from 44 yards, longest of his young career. And it's 14-13 Oilers. There's Nedney with a kickoff. Gray from the 2. And Gray to the 22-yard line, where he's tackled by Kirby Dardar. Well, Jimmy Johnson grew up in Port Arthur, Texas. Population just over 58,000. They renamed 75th Street Jimmy Johnson Boulevard. And in the Museum of the Gulf Coast, there is the bust of Jimmy Johnson. He was a high school classmate of Janis Joplin, of all people. And boy, the hair properly sculpted there. Looks just like Jimmy. There he is. Which is the sculpture and which is real? First down from the 21. Chandler's pass complete. Sanders makes the catch. Play blown dead as he stepped out of bounds, knocked out by Calvin Jackson. 35 members of the Johnson clan here today, including Aline, his mom, and his dad, C.W. Neither one in great health, but made the drive of 100 miles or so.
Now, wait a minute. His dad's name, being from Port Arthur, Texas, it's C.W.
Gotcha.
W.
Well, Jimmy said he learned, among other things, at Port Arthur, that everything they did as kids was sport-oriented because of his dad, and said he had his love for the beach from his youth there and his love for ice cream. His dad worked for a dairy right across the street, brought home 6 pints of ice cream every day. Eddie George, tough going up the middle, stopped short of the first down, a yard gain. Zach Thomas, the rookie linebacker.
First time we've called Zach's name, certainly a story. Here's Thomas. These two defensive tackles do a good job of keeping people off of Zach Thomas. And this young man from Texas who says, I don't know if this is legal, he says he hates country music.
That is illegal in Texas.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a pickup.
But he doesn't miss many tackles.
3rd and 3. Chandler chased from the pocket. Cuts up. Flag down as he has the first down to the 35-yard line and then is hit out of bounds. And the Oilers not happy about that. Daryl Gardner, the rookie, chased him out of bounds. And Gardner's from Baylor. Another Southwest Conference connection. Of course, Jimmy Johnson played in the Southwest Conference for the University of Arkansas.
Good move by Chandler to jump underneath, and then Gardner, this kid's 315 pounds.
Yeah, chased him down, and it was a legal hit in the field of play.
Yep.
Holding 23 defense, 5 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Robert Bailey with the hold, giving the Oilers the first down. Chandler had it on the run anyway.
Extra defensive back for the Miami Dolphins, trying to cover Harmon and as best they possibly can. But as many defensive backs out there as possible so that the Oilers can't spread this defense too thin.
And they'll spot the ball now at the 41-yard line. First down, Oilers. Just under 5 minutes left, third quarter. 14-13 Houston. George ducks in for a couple of yards. And continuing our Jimmy Johnson in Port Arthur, Texas. Here's a baby picture of Jimmy. And tell me what strikes you about this. That you could predict great hair even then.
Yeah, Aileen must have spent hours getting that part in there because it's stayed for 53 years.
Went on and played high school football in Port Arthur, and they said the greatest influence on his coaching style, that demanding coaching style, came from his high school coach, Clarence Buckshot Underwood, who was an assistant to Bear Bryant at the University of Kentucky.
Buckshot Underwood.
Play action fake. Chandler chased, dumps it off complete to Wycheck. Wycheck roaming and cutting back and has it down to the 43-yard line of Miami. Zach Thomas finally tracked him down. Gain of 15 yards.
This is a great job by Chandler avoiding the pressure. And Wycheck, the tight end, blocks on Trace Armstrong ever so slightly. I mean, he's going to the outlet receiver, but watch Trace Armstrong. Sprains his ankle right there. Wycheck jumps back inside. Zach Thomas somehow back there 15 yards deep makes the tackle. There's the pressure.
Look at Zach Thomas rushing after him, number 54, to make the play.
Amazing, isn't it? Kid never stops, sideline to sideline.
Jimmy Johnson has such confidence in him despite his rookie status. Chandler, oh, another big hit, but Wycheck holds on after he was slammed down by Sean Wooden.
Now, Tom, this is the way Houston started the game. Remember? A lot of half rolls, a little sprint here, fake to Eddie George. All right, coming out in the flat, hits Wycheck deep, the H-back. Good stick by Sean Wooden, but another first down pickup. And Jerry Rome going back to that first page of his game plan for the Miami Dolphins because it worked in the first quarter.
For the Houston Oilers, after the Oilers had built a 14-0 lead and have seen the Dolphins close within one. Ronnie Harmon in motion. Chandler to a wide open receiver, Davis. And Willie Davis taken down by Terrell Buckley. Another update on the 49ers Ravens. Back to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Tom, San Francisco has leapfrogged back in the lead. A 16-play drive capped by William Floyd's 1-yard dive off left tackle with the extra point. The 49ers reclaim the lead over Baltimore, 24-20, 4:11 left in the third, Tom.
All right, Greg, good one going there and here in Houston. Likewise, with the Oilers driving, leading by one. Just under 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Two teams with playoff hopes on the line. Eddie George sidestepping another man, keeps his balance, 12-yard line, first down Houston.
That run set up about 4 plays ago. Again, the backfield of Eddie George and Ronnie Harmon. And there's a decent blocking up front. Harmon does a little bit, but mostly it's just Eddie George reading that open space. And at 6'3", 233 pounds, you know, he's a nifty running back. He's got those sweet little moves just to get him through the line of scrimmage.
Has that combination, doesn't he? He can run over you or around you.
With great frequency.
From the 12, first down Houston. Harmon in the slot, top of the screen. Fake the play action to George. And the pass intended for Harmon is a little wide from Chris Chandler.
And boy, that's the matchup they wanted to. They had Harmon in the slot, Chris Singleton, the linebacker, on him, but just overthrown.
Chandler missed on that one, but around the league, the word is that this young man has developed into one of the most underrated, if least talked about quarterbacks around.
Yeah, and he admitted to us yesterday. He said, you know, I was a jerk. I was tough to coach. I wasn't interested. I thought I knew it all. When Jerry Rome finally got a hold of him and began to control some of his talent, now it's beginning to show.
It's also given him the luxury of bringing along Steve McNair slowly. Chandler flips it toward the end zone and a flag down as the receiver Sanders was tied up with Jackson and Oliver.
That was a bullseye. Did you see that? Hit the sideline marker.
I didn't see it. Do you get points for that?
No, you do not.
You see Oliver applauding. It must be
There's
against
no
Houston.
foul on the play. The contact was made within the 5-yard legal zone. Third down.
So they'll pick the flag up despite Chandler protesting. And it will be a third down play.
Miami's coming with a blitz here, so Chandler's got rid of it in a hurry. He's trying to get it to Sanders, and there's the contact. Well, that certainly looked deeper than 5 yards to me.
Nevertheless, the flag picked up, and it's 3rd and 10. Chandler blitzed, sails it to the end zone, incomplete. Wycheck made a try for it, a dive for it, with Oliver coming in on Chandler. And Chandler just had to lay it up there and hope somebody could run under it. Wycheck could not.
Tom, I think Miami sent 9 guys. They had the 2 corners. I'd make it 8 because there's the safety covering Wycheck. Everybody else was in an all-out blitz on Chris Chandler.
So Al Del Greco will attempt the field goal. 30-yard attempt coming up for Del Greco.
Who's holding there, Tom?
And the holder is Reggie Arobi. Del Greco's kick sails through the uprights. And the Oilers get the field goal back. Lead once again is 4. Chandler got him within field goal range. It's 17-13, final minute of the 3rd quarter. Del Greco set to kick off for Jeff Fisher and the Houston Oilers, who have led throughout. Del Greco with the boot. Dardar and Spikes are the deep men. This will be Dardar. Kirby Dardar. Pretty nice return to the 30-yard line, tackled by Raphael Robinson. Well, tonight it's a Jack Reed world premiere mystery, tracking a serial killer.
Wolf, I am outlaw.
A heart-stopping thriller taking you to the edge. Brian Dennehy is Jack Reed, an NBC world premiere tonight.
Brian Dennehy has played everybody, hasn't he? Here he is, Cocoon, John Wayne Gacy. He's played
Been on both sides,
yes,
huh?
he has.
First down, Dolphins at their own 31. 45 seconds left in the 3rd. Marino found the pocket collapsing on him and tried to just flip it to Abdul-Jabbar. It fell incomplete.
And again, Barrow, number 56, around the corner. And the one thing about Dan Marino, as long as he's been here in the league, he can sense that pressure. Barrow produced it. Tried to dump it off.
2nd and 10.
Chris Gray was injured earlier. We're told his return now is doubtful. So Sims and Gray, the starting Miami guards, sidelined by injury today. 2nd and 10. Oh, blitz. And Marino sacked. Wortham, the linebacker, came through and spun Marino to the turf.
He came late. Kind of hesitated for a moment.
Loss of 7.
Let Marino figure out what's going to happen, and then straight up the middle. And those 2 guards missing. You think this is not a factor? You got MacGyver on one side. You got Bucky on the other side. Not used to being with the normal offensive lineman. He's untouched in the chest of Dan Marino.
Baron Wortham from Everman, Texas, the former WAC Defensive Player of the Year for Texas El Paso, makes the play. 3rd and 17. Marino dumps it off short. Parmalee bumped out of bounds by Bowden, Barrow, and Dishman. Well short of first down yardage. 3rd quarter comes to an end. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Tom Hammond, Bob Trumpy in Houston. 4th quarter about to unfold after the teams traded field goals in the 3rd. It's 17-13 Houston. And Kidd will punt, but it won't. Trick play, short snap, and a first down. Izzo the backup linebacker and special teams player, Larry Izzo, who played here in Houston at Rice University, the rookie free agent, takes the short snap from punt formation and runs 27 yards for a Miami first down.
He's the up back. And Tom, you remember, and his roommate, Zach Thomas, 54, pulls and makes the block for him. Izzo, even though he's a free agent, was the second guy to make the team this year. Marino was one with his play on the special teams. JJ said, "You're number 2." Did you see that smile?
And the bump from his roomie, Zach Thomas, Fred and Barney, they call him. They both admitted that you wouldn't want to visit their apartment unless they have a chance to call in the maid that they call in every couple of weeks.
These kids drafted together, roomed, play against each other for 4 years. He's at Rice, Zach Thomas at Texas Tech. They go to training camp, they room together, they get numbers next to each other, 53, 54, so they locker next to each other, rent an apartment together. The other night they went to a movie in Miami. So they're afraid people are starting to talk. They went to see Ransom. They sat 5 seats apart.
Resetting the clock again as Izzo. You know, he made a nice run. He dodged a couple of guys, made a leap over one. That's the highlight of his pro career so far. Yeah. And he's going to tell everybody about it over there on the sideline.
You're right. And as a free agent, everybody in Houston who called and said, "I want tickets," he said, "Get them yourself."
And there's Thomas, 54. And what a refreshing guy he is, too. He happened to be in a restaurant in Davie, Florida. Ran into some members of a high school team. They said, "Why don't you come to our game?" And he said, "Well, all right." Showed up at the game, had a great time. Handoff, Abdul-Jabbar with a head of steam to the 30-yard line. First down, Miami.
Again, Houston coming with the safety blitz. Blaines Bishop right through the line of scrimmage. Jabbar makes just a tiny little move to spring him free. You're going to see 23 just fire in there. Look at that move. Oh, that's great acceleration. Runs very low, hangs onto the ball.
Gain of 12 on that one as Robertson is banged up. And Jeff Fisher will come out to check on him. Abdul-Jabbar now with 12 carries, 44 yards, as they check the free safety Marcus Robertson, who is one of the key members of this potent Houston defense. We'll take a timeout, 4-point game.
Again, the quickness of Abdul-Jabbar shows. Bishop blitzes, he blitzes, that nice little cut, and then you're going to see also the injury to Robertson at the end of the play. That's his cutback. Wham, up through that hole, then the left arm is extended. Powerful running, some effect on Marcus Robertson's shoulder, arm, not sure what.
First down, Dolphins. The Oilers 30, 13:30 left in the game. 17-13 Oilers. Abdul-Jabbar from the I-back spot. Penetrates the 25 down to the 23 with Roberson and Wortham combining to make the tackle.
Well, he's beginning to have an effect here, isn't he? And they've used Irving Spikes a little bit. And now with his quickness, if you kind of wear down, there's the comparison. 13 carries for Abdul-Jabbar, 11 for Eddie George, 50 for Abdul-Jabbar.
Marino changing the play, 2nd and 4. Pump once, pass to McDuffie. Ducks under the man, but steps out of bounds. Doing so, he'll be just short of the first down. Bowden knocked him out of bounds.
Shaken up on the play for Houston, Gary Walker.
And it's a Walker that's the injured Oiler. Gary Walker, one of the defensive linemen. They'll tend to Walker with 12:39 left in the game. 17-13 Oilers. Houston, Texas, you're looking at Gary Walker, who is being taken from the field on the cart. As we look at the other scores, 49ers 4 points. And meanwhile, Marcus Robertson over on the Oiler bench getting fitted for a harness. Will try to return to play. Renee Stewart, the rookie from Northern Arizona, has replaced Robertson at free safety. And Mike Halpin, rookie from Pitt, a free agent, has replaced Walker on the defensive line. 3rd down and 2. Abdul-Jabbar, first down to the 15-yard line.
Man, I'm telling you, he is a rocket. Goodness.
Roberson tackled him, but he had a head of steam, didn't he?
Yeah, and the offensive linemen love a kid like this because they don't have to block long. That's a great push by the Miami offensive line, but when he comes firing through there, if the defender is not squared up, you can't slow that kid down, let alone stop him.
And you better get out of his way if you're an offensive lineman. He'll run right up your back. First down at the 15. Dolphins hoping for their first lead of the game. They trail 17-13. Marino's pass to McDuffie. Nice move to the 5-yard line. First and goal, Miami.
Again, that is such a difficult completion to make, and Marino has done it throughout his career like it's absolutely nothing. McDuffie with just a little drag pattern out in the flat. Marino puts it right on the money, jumps inside Dishman. That's beautifully executed.
Now Blaine Bishop is down, the other safety, and as we said at the start of the game, Bishop and Robertson, 2 of the best safeties in the football business, and we've seen Robertson go out, and now maybe Bishop will have to leave.
Lewis, 29, shaken up on the play.
He's number 23. Let's see if we can see what happens here. 23 is right there. Yeah, contact with his own player. Those are always the scariest kind of hits that you see in the NFL nowadays.
Meanwhile, Robertson getting his jersey back on after putting that shoulder harness.
Darrell Lewis is right there, number 29, with the trainer, and Jeff Fisher with a smile on his face. The NFL has gotten a lot better about treating these types of hits and injuries. Well, I just saw Blaine Bishop move his legs and his arms, but they take no chances with any neck injuries nowadays. They're extremely careful. Good.
Blaine Bishop to a sitting position.
Jeff Fisher has made several trips on the field here today for injured players, hasn't he?
There's head coach Fisher. And here is our ticker as we review early and late games today. Denver keeps rolling along, don't they? And would be awful tough to beat in the playoffs at Mile High Stadium.
Man, would they ever.
23 Bishop, 29 Lewis.
Bruce Coslett, his first loss as Bengal head coach. Kansas City had a scrap to escape the Bears. Pittsburgh avenges an earlier loss to the Jaguars. And Robertson back on the field as Bishop has gone out. So Robertson banged up but back out there. First and goal, Miami from the Houston 5-yard line. Abdul-Jabbar bounces to the outside. Touch. Was he down? Did the Oilers recover? Let's see. Dishman comes away with the football and dunks it over the goalpost, but the discussion still continues. The discussion is still continuing over by the goal line despite the Dishman celebration. Barnett and Dishman with conflicting signals. Now Marino's going to get his 2 cents worth in. It's ruled a fumble and Houston football.
Abdul-Jabbar fighting for extra inches. First time I looked at it, I thought he hit the ground and the ball bounces loose. Robertson there, cuts inside him, and the hit. Oh, ball is loose.
Good
Excellent call by Ron Blum and his officiating crew. No question about this whatsoever. Again, the great acceleration. Watch that move inside of Robertson, and Jackson hits him ball loose. No question, touchback, Houston ball.
And Dishman with the celebration and the dunk. Well, he's from Louisville, so basketball in his background.
That's pretty impressive. He skied on that one.
Louisville to Sales High School. Play action fake. Chandler had the defense in his face, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Zach Thomas. Touchdown!
Did everything right except keep the football.
His first NFL touchdown from Pampa, Texas. And Texas Tech. Fred and Barney. Izzo made the run on the fake punt for a big first down. Thomas with the interception and the touchdown. And Miami for the first time today is in front. Nedney for the extra point. And it's good.
Well, his dad, Steve, up in Pampa, Texas, recovering from back surgery, just got right up off the couch. Here's Thomas. There's good pressure on Chandler. He makes a poor choice here. The first poor choice he's made all day. But Trace Armstrong right in his face. Thomas, his first interception. Now, Zach, you're not going to get many, pal. And when you get one in your home state, you keep the football.
Meanwhile, remember the celebration by Chris Dishman. Here's the other side of it. He sends the ice and the drinks flying. Well, there's Izzo, 53. Fred and Barney strike in Houston.
He's got that look, you know, when you sit down and talk to him, he's always got that smile on his face. But it's that don't mess with me smile. You know, he's got that grin.
Well, his whole life he's been told he was too small. When he graduated from high school, nobody much recruited him. They all thought he was too small to be a major college linebacker. Played at Texas Tech. And then when it came time to turn pro, he went to the scouting combine camps. Everybody said he was too small, 5'11", maybe 5'11", 230 pounds or so. They said he's too small. In the 5th round, he was still there, taken by the Dolphins. And what happens? He starts at that key middle linebacker spot as the Dolphins' leading tackler. Has played all but 2 snaps this season. When he broke his chin strap, he had to come out for 2 defensive snaps. And here he has his first career interception. Takes it 26 yards for a touchdown, and the Dolphins go in front.
You know, it kind of, say Stewart going off with an injury. When Zach Thomas went to Texas Tech, he was recruited as a fullback, and the head coach said, look, son, we could use you on defense. We know you're a fullback. Which do you want? He says, I want defense. I'd rather hit than be hit. This young man has also played 3 regular season, preseason games. Didn't miss a snap. Now his 11th regular season game. Just been a little too quick in the celebration there.
And probably the happiest man on the Dolphins sideline is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His fumble counts for nothing now, and the Dolphins have a 3-point lead. Don't forget, coming up NBC tonight, Dateline, followed by the must-see comedies, Third Rock from the Sun and Boston Common. Then one serial killer can terrorize the city. 2 can bring it to its knees. America's Toughest Cops going to take them down. Brian Dennehy, Charles Dutton, starring in the NBC world premiere, Jack Reed, Death and Vengeance. That's all on NBC tonight. Well, Abdul-Jabbar fumbled. It looked for a moment like Houston had held the Dolphins without the score before Thomas with the interception to take it in for the score. Nedney's kick. Gray from the goal line. Mel Gray. Flag comes flying in from way downfield as he's tackled at about the 22-yard line by Robert Wilson. Looks like it could be a holding call against the Oilers.
Holding during the return. Number 57 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Lanoy Jones, playing only his 6th game of the season for the Oilers, guilty of the hold, putting Houston back inside their own 10-yard line.
Oh, Jeff Fisher's great opportunity. Just squandered away. Had complete control of this football game in the first quarter and has allowed Miami back in it.
Spot the ball at the 8. First down, Houston. Eddie George takes it to the outside and is run out of bounds by Lewis Oliver. Let's go back to New York where Greg Gumbel has another update for us. Greg?
All right, Tom, and we'll take you back to San Francisco where Baltimore's Eric Zaire is stripped by Chris Dolman of the football, and Dolman, a one-man crew, recovers in the end zone for the touchdown. 49ers open up a commanding lead, 31-20, about 9.5 to play in regulation, Tom.
All right, Greg, that'll be tough for the Ravens. That'll be, what, 3 games in a row that they've lost fourth quarter leads. I'm not sure they were ahead in the fourth. They're certainly late in the third in that game today. But against Cincinnati and Jacksonville, the 2 before this, lost in the last minute of the game. Pass intended for Wycheck is incomplete. Defended by the linebacker Chris Singleton.
And now you can see the frustration sitting in, beginning to set in a little bit on this Houston offense. We've had some wild momentum changes in this football game. Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, trying to keep everything together, get some confidence back in his offense after the turnover.
Third down.
He third down here from the 13-yard line. 3rd and 5. Chandler sacked at the 10. Entman and Armstrong converging on Chandler for the sack.
93 Armstrong
And suddenly Jimmy Johnson's team is all over Houston. The Oilers will have to punt from their own end zone.
Looked like Miami changed up their defense because as you see Chandler step away from the center, he's expecting one thing. First receiver not open, brings it back on the second, and then runs right into the arms of Trace Armstrong for the sack. Well, that is 2 ugly offensive series for Houston, isn't it?
The momentum, as you said, has switched wildly, and now Roby punts from his own end zone. High snap, there's a flag down. Roby got it away, had one blocked earlier. Bouncing by McDuffie, who lets it roll. And it will reach the 30-yard line. Remember, there is a penalty marker.
Flag down back behind the line of scrimmage.
Ron Blum. Offside Miami. It was a 59-yard punt counting the roll. I think they'll take that and decline the penalty.
Offside, 30 defense. Penalty is declined. First timeout.
At the 9:08 mark, 2017 Dolphins blow to the Houston defense. Blaine Bishop injured on the last series, out for the remainder of the game. Dolphins first down, their own 30, just across the 30 to the 31 officially. Marino with a flag down. Gets it to Abdul-Jabbar, and he, if it stands, has a 13-yard gain and a first down. But it will come back with a hold against the Dolphins.
Holding, 61 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
That's the center, Tim Ruddy.
Ruddy is right in the middle. He's got Ford on him. And as Ford goes by, yeah, well, when you got Dan Marino standing back there, 15 yards is a lot better than seeing Marino carted off to the sideline.
To McDuffie from Marino, and McDuffie with a nice move. He has a first down. He got about 23 yards before Renee Stewart chases him down. They break up a little scuffle there, and boy, McDuffie just after catching the ball with a nice move to come free.
Barrow on the blitz, and watch this move by McDuffie. Man, that is stopping on a dime and then accelerated again. A huge reception by O.J. McDuffie, his 6th catch of the day.
To the 43, but the Dolphins have a first down. Less than 8 minutes remaining. Abdul-Jabbar. Excuse me, Irving Spikes taking Abdul-Jabbar's place on this play.
Now, Jimmy doesn't like fumblers. No matter how good the young man has done, you put it on the ground, you're going to sit for a while.
Spot the ball at the 48. It'll be second down and 5. Marino completes the pass, and then the ball fumbled. It's loose. Looks like Chris Dishman might have it again. McDuffie fumbled it as Wortham knocked it free. And I believe Dishman was down there to scoop it up one more time.
Good pattern run by McDuffie, the in and out. And Wortham on the inside does strip the ball loose, and then it's all over the place. Everybody diving for it. And Jackson, I think, is the one that comes up with a 24.
Jackson and Dishman both had it surrounded, so McDuffie with a fumble. Abdul-Jabbar fumbled at the goal line the last time the Dolphin offense was out there, so the defense took it in for the score. And now Jimmy Johnson's offense turns it over again.
Well, they've been so great so far this season, protecting the football on the plus side of the give-take ratio.
Plus 12 coming in. 2 turnovers today by the Dolphins. Marino had the completion, but McDuffie couldn't hold on. First down Oilers, Houston 45. Wycheck and George in the eye. Here's Eddie George cutting back. George calls for a block and gets it. Down at the 31-yard line, Zach Thomas caught him. But did you see George directing traffic? He rambles for 24 yards, and he said to Derek Russell, make me a block. Russell did, and it got him another 5 or 6 extra yards.
George does a great job of just recognizing what's in front of him. There's the point. I'm not sure he needed the block. He can run over most of these guys, but the middle linebacker, Zach Thomas, down there to make the tackle.
13 carries, 60 yards now for George, who's starting to come alive, as did his rookie counterpart Abdul-Jabbar late in the game. Again, it's George. Finds the going a little tougher this time. 2 yards. Entman with a stop.
Now this is where, as a football coach, you love to have a guy like Eddie George. 6'3", 233, has not run the ball particularly well to this point. Now give it to me. You want a personal challenge? We're down by 3. You want to get control of this football game? Please, coach, let me stay in.
39 away from 1,000. Rodney Thomas still owns setback. Chandler's pass is complete to Wycheck. And Wycheck twisted down by Singleton close to the first down marker. Wycheck's had a big day.
Yeah, first part of the season, he was the main receiver for Chris Chandler. And then as people began to pay more attention to Ronnie Harmon, Chandler's going back to Wycheck. Great strength in his legs, was a was an H-back at Maryland, but did more receiving than he did blocking. Here as an H-back, he does a lot more blocking for the Houston Oilers.
A Del Greco field goal would tie it up, but the Oilers want more. Wycheck 5 catches, 54 yards. That last one just enough for the first down. George hit in the backfield. Tackled for a loss by Trace Armstrong and Chris Singleton.
Trace Armstrong jumped right outside of Irv Eatman, number 75, when it's right there. Going to happen all right over here. Now watch the right tackle. It jumps inside Irv Eatman and is right there to make the tackle in the backfield. Sometimes those offensive linemen guess wrong.
Second down, 12.
Loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12 from the 23-yard line. You see the clock approaching 4 minutes. Dolphins lead it by 3. Harmon in the slot, bottom of the screen. Chandler looks that way. Off Harmon and incomplete.
He's saying that's on me. He wants to lead him to the outside so he can continue to run. And he throws this one back to the inside. Well, there's not much margin for error anymore in the NFL, you know.
Clock stopped at 4:05. 2017 Dolphins. It's 3rd down. 3rd and 12. Harmon is the only setback and a 3 wide receiver formation. And timeout taken by Chandler. Play clock down to 1, and he calls for the timeout. So they'll still be facing a crucial 3rd and long when we return. 4:05 left. 2017 Miami. Houston facing a 3rd and 12 from the Dolphin 23. Del Greco field goal would tie it up if he's called on. They'd rather convert this 3rd and 12. Chandler runs from the pocket. Short of the 15-yard line and short of the first down. Bowens and Thomas with the tackle, and so Del Greco does indeed trot onto the field to try to tie the score.
Actually, not a bad choice by Chandler. That quarterback draw when they empty the backfield and Ronnie Harmon scoots out of there. Everybody seems to go with Harmon. Almost picked it up.
34-yard attempt by Del Greco to tie the game. Officially a 33-yard field goal attempt. Kind of a low snap. Roby got it down. Del Greco got it through. McDuffie fumbled, and the Oilers get a field goal. Jackson recovered the fumble, and his fumble recovery sets up this tying field goal by Del Greco. Good job by Roby on the hold.
Good job, yes. Excellent job. Most teams now go with the punter holding for the kicker. And 2 fourth-quarter fumbles by the Miami Dolphins. Abdul-Jabbar, O.J. McDuffie. Fisher watches it go through the uprights.
And so does McDuffie, who fumbled the football. Crucial game for both these teams. The Oilers 6-4, the Dolphins 5-5. Both trying to stay in the playoff picture. Obviously a little more urgency for the Dolphins, having one less win. The Oilers chasing the Steelers, and the Dolphins saw Buffalo win today and New England lose. Colts also won. Chris Chandler hit 15 of 27, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception.
His only mistake of the day was that interception. He's played flawlessly.
Interception by Zach Thomas went for the Miami go-ahead touchdown. Now we're tied as you see the other scores from action today. Del Greco with a kick. Short kick, bouncing into the arms of Dardar, and Kirby Dardar taken down at the 25-yard line on a special teams tackle by McKeon.
Well, a great part of Dan Marino's reputation is his wizardry in the fourth quarter. So 3:12 to go. This is exactly the spot that Marino is known best for.
19 of 26, 166 yards, but that's what the great ones do. Bring your team from behind to win games. We're tied at 20, 3:12 left. Hand off to Abdul-Jabbar, who returns to the game. Can't quite turn the corner on Steve Jackson, who knocks him out of bounds. They'll put the football down at the 28-yard line. So give him 2 on the play. 3:07 left in regulation.
Base defense for Houston, base offense for Miami here. Nothing fancy. Blitz.
And Abdul-Jabbar driven back by Anthony Cook.
This one you just got to give it to the defense, because in the last possible moment, you see the linebacker step up there. Good penetration by the Houston front 4. Abdul-Jabbar had no place to go.
So now it brings up a 3rd and long for Marino and the Dolphins. Ticking down toward the 2-minute warning. From the shotgun. Marino under pressure, lofts it complete for a first down. McDuffie with a catch at the 43-yard line, where he's tackled by Raphael Robinson. A clutch toss from Marino to McDuffie.
Marino does 2 things great here. One, he recognizes the blitz by Barrow, knows he's going to have single coverage, waits for McDuffie. Forget the last time that McDuffie caught it and then fumbled it. I'm going back to him. And a wonderful throw again by Marino for the first down.
2-minute warning, tied at 20. Often first down at their own 44, 2 minutes to play in regulation. Toss on the sweep to Abdul-Jabbar. Stacked up by the Houston defense at the line of scrimmage. Barrow and Wortham, linebackers, got there first. As Houston continues to play with that, their 2 excellent starting safeties, Blaine Bishop and Marcus Robertson, who have been injured during the course of the game. Renee Stewart and Raphael Robinson, their backups, are in there, and it was Robinson that Marino picked on for that big first down toss a moment ago to O.J. McDuffie. Marino completes the pass to Drayton. Drayton, the tight end, in a foot race with Dishman, and Dishman bumps him out of bounds. Jackson finally caught him, but Drayton, rambling down the sideline, has the Dolphins in position to perhaps win the game.
Houston comes with a blitz. Tom, the 2 defensive backs knock each other down. Here's Barrow coming from the outside, but when Drayton releases, 37 is out there. He and the corner collide. Watch what happens out here on just a quick drag. 37 follows him out. Catch is made. Oh, actually, it's a block by Barnett. Number 80, Barnett. And Drayton freed on the sideline. What a huge play.
Dishman and Jackson finally catching up. Dishman with the good speed had the angle as well. And Jackson was chasing him to get there and finally stopped Drayton, but he got it all the way to the 5-yard line, a 51-yard gain.
Now Jeff Fisher taking a chance with the blitz, trying to put added pressure on Dan Marino. Most coaches will tell you that's crazy, but you got to do it. I mean, you have to try to disrupt Dan Marino as best you can. And he burns another team.
Nedney warming up on the sideline. Had a career-long 44 today. He won't need that long a win unless there are some losses here. Welcome to those of you who saw San Francisco defeat Baltimore 38-20. Tom Hammond and Bob Trumpy in Houston, where the Oilers dominated the game early. And earlier, a couple of minutes ago, as a matter of fact, Marino completing a pass to O.J. McDuffie, who fumbled. Steve Jackson recovered from the Oilers, and they would get a field goal to tie the game. But just the last play, tight end Troy Drayton caught this ball from Marino, took off down the sideline. Chris Dishman, number 28, and Steve Jackson, number 24, finally prevent the touchdown. But with 1:06 to play, it'll be 1st and goal, Miami. Joe Bowden, the Oiler, is linebacker, injured back at about the 45-yard line. That's why we are holding up play for the moment.
And there's Bowden on the sideline having a cramp addressed by the training staff. How many Miami players, when we talked to them, they continually repeated the phrase from Jimmy Johnson that they want playmakers. Well, there was a huge play by Drayton.
Well, 1992, the last time these teams played, the last time the Dolphins defeated the Oilers. 6 seconds left in the game. Pete Stoyanovich, his 4th field goal of the day, a 52-yarder to give Miami a 19-16 victory over the Houston Oilers and Coach Don Shula. Don Shula celebrating as Stoyanovich kicked it through. Stoyanovich, of course, released by Jimmy Johnson this season in favor of Joe Nedney.
Yeah, and the last time Miami has won here in the Astrodome, 1983.
When Dan Marino was a rookie. There's Nedney, who replaced Stoyanovich.
Well, it looks like we're going to put another dramatic 4th quarter comeback in the books for Dan Marino if something strange doesn't happen here.
Joe Bowden is being helped from the field. Jeff Fisher's team, the Oilers, dominated early. One time led 14-0 over the Dolphins, and have only surrendered the lead in the 4th quarter. Zach Thomas, the rookie linebacker, intercepted a Chris Chandler pass, took it for a touchdown. Miami came back to tie it up, and that's where we stand. 20-20 with 1:06 remaining in regulation. The ball at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal for Marino and the Dolphins. Spikes is the setback. Irving Spikes hit in his tracks, dropped back at the 10-yard line. 5-yard loss. Renee Stewart, the free safety. Jeff Fisher calling for the timeout, trying to save some time because conceding the field goal by the Dolphins. If they can hold them to that.
And I'm not so sure if I'm Jimmy Johnson now. I'm ready to kick that field goal at this moment. You're going to see Houston on the rest of these snaps just fire across the line of scrimmage, forget everything else, kick it the next down.
For Marino and the Dolphins, 31 times he has taken the Dolphins from behind in the 4th quarter.
Now, Tom, let me tell you why they're snapping this ball again. All they want to do is take some time off the clock and make Houston use. They've already used their last time out. Sean Wooden back there in the safety position.
And Marino just takes a knee.
Yep. Just let the clock run down as far as they possibly can. Houston will get the ball with no timeouts left and very little time.
And it will all be on the shoulders of the rookie, Joe Nedney. He missed a field goal from 39 yards to open the day, but has connected twice, including a career-long 44-yarder.
Tom, it looks like there's about a 7-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
Again, Marino takes a knee. Houston cannot stop the clock.
Game over.
So it will be Nedney to kick the field goal to either win it or put us into overtime.
I think he makes it. Game over.
Well, we have seen one blocked kick today. A Roby punt was blocked. And the rookie Nedney has to be feeling the pressure. Nothing like this at San Jose State.
You got that right. Missed this one. You know how to get you to San Jose State for Miami in a hurry.
It's going to be about a 29-yard attempt. See exactly where they spot it. It will be 29 yards. Nedney to win the game. Dead center. Dolphins win. A huge come-from-behind victory for Jimmy Johnson, the Port Arthur, Texas native. His homecoming game is a come-from-behind effort. Nedney kicked the game winner after Marino drove him down the field. Joe Nedney celebrates the winning kick with 2 seconds left. Welcome home, Jimmy Johnson. 35 members of his family here to see it, and his Dolphins win a crucial game to go 6-5.
Oh, and Tom, how many big plays did we see Miami make today, including the biggest was that catch by Drayton to get him down there for the field goal.
Izzo had a big play